can come true.
Stepping out and reaching high. Hold my faith as I reach for the sky. I walk through the fire, I'll shelter the rain. I'm shaken by doubt, I'm gonna climb out. If dreams they really can come true, and all I really have to do is believe in what I feel inside, and I'll see that I will get there someday. Dreams they really can come true, and all I really have to do is believe in what I have inside, and I'll see that I will get there someday. You'll never know if I never try. I'll make it a long, long way if I believe.
We are from 5KL. We are performing scene 1.
Dawan and Kwai was sitting on the old bridge near their home with their legs dangling over the edge. Their teacher would be announcing the winner of the scholarship to study at the city school.
Scholarship.
Dawan was filled with anticipation and anxiety. Who would win the scholarship? Would it be Kwai or one of their classmates?
Me. You want to bet it could be me? No, it will be me.
They thought about all the things Kwai would learn if he were the one to win the scholarship. He was full of ideas for change.
I could build a better school. You could defeat the land. I could change the world.
Kwai suggested that it could be even his sister, Dawan, who would win the scholarship.
It could be you. Me?
But Dawan dismissed the suggestion.
No,
She-
impossible.
She had only allowed to attend school only because her brother had insisted she join him when he had started school. How would she ever win the scholarship? It was impossible. After all, she was only a girl. After all, she was only a girl.
I'm just a girl.
That morning, in the village classroom, the teacher was conducting lessons as usual. Suddenly, he gathered the children together.
Listen, I have an important announcement to make. I have just received the results of the government examination early this morning. The best student among you will be able to go to the big city school. An excited murmur could be heard. The scholarship. He was talking about the scholarship at last.
Dawan looked at her brother Kwai, but he had eyes only for the teacher. His whole body was tense in anticipation.
Getting the scholarship isn't just about winning a prize. It also means that the student will be bearing heavy responsibilities. What kind of attitude should that student have towards continuing school? Yes, Kwai?
He should learn what is useful to his own people and come back to help the village after he has finished learning.
But how will a student know what will be useful and what will not? First, That student must learn how to think, to perceive what is wrong with society, to analyze and understand the rules which create these injustices. And what?
And change it for fairer rules?
Yes, and change it for fairer rules. Well, Dawan, do you think you can do all that?
Me?
Behind her, her classmate Vijay snickered loudly amidst a general round of giggling in the small classroom.
Well, Chow.
Dawan looked up at her teacher in confusion. Why was he deliberately picking on her like this? She wondered.
Please, sir, never mind me. Just tell us who won the scholarship.
There was a long pause. Distant sounds of a dog barking, of farmers singing in the rice field, and the rustling of palm leaves could be heard.
But Chow, you did.
But her brother was not among the crowd.
He was standing alone in the doorway, silently watching her in the midst of her admirers. Dawan called out to him, but he only turned away and stalked out of the classroom abruptly.
As Dawan approached her house, she heard the familiar sound of mother singing to the baby and of chickens clucking as they pecked the dirt underneath the stilts of the house.
Her grandmother was sitting on the tree stump, sprinkling seeds for the chicken and watching Dawan's father repair the chicken coop.
Has Kwai been home yet, Grandmama?
That brother of yours. He was here a few minutes ago, but he rushed away again. Dawan gazed towards the fields and sighed.
Well, Dawan, what is it?
You know that prize that the government gives out after the big examination? Well, the best student, or at least the one who happens to get the best marks, well, he gets to go to the city and continue to...
I know all that. What about it?
I won the prize. But I can go to the city and study some more now, can't I?
And Kwai, what about him? He won nothing.
There's only one prize.
Dawan looked timidly at her father, and their eyes interlocked. There was a long pause.
You stole your own brother's chance away from him?
Grandmother, mother, and daughter all watched him strike in silence. Dawan kept quiet, for she was afraid of angering her elder. The grandmother slowly straightened up from her tree stump and walked with slow, careful steps over to Dawan.
Child, I'm proud of you.
You should not encourage her so. You know her father won't let her go. He'll be even more disappointed if you praise her now. At least spare her that.
Dawan felt her heart sinking. Why did her mother sometimes talk as if hope was a disease? Dawan wondered. How was it that she could be so loving and full of laughter one moment, and then so biting and sour the next? I do what I think right.
After deciding to talk to the head monk at the temple, Dawan goes to the marketplace to buy a lotus bud to make merry.
I would like to buy a lotus bud.
20 pennies.
Dawan only had the 10 pennies that her father gave her once a week. She thought of buying half a flower, but doubted if the fat man would even put down his hard-boiled egg to consider it. Then, she remembered that her mother always bargained heatedly before she bought anything at the market.
10 pennies. You don't want 10 pennies for your lotus flower?
I don't bargain for one silly lotus bud. 20 pennies. Take it or leave it.
Wait, you can have one of my lotus buds.
Dawan turned around and saw a young girl squatting on the ground. She was surrounded by sparrows in wooden cages and a white bucket full of lotus buds.
Can I have this one for 10 pennies?
Sure, they don't cost me anything. I go swimming in the river before anyone is awake. That's when I pick them. But don't tell anyone.
I go swimming there sometimes too. I thought I was the only girl in the village who dared to do it.
Here, why don't you take the flower free? It's a present.
Oh no, I can't do that. Here are my 10 pennies.
Keep your money. I got the flower free anyways. Besides, take it anyway.
Why don't you take it anyway? You picked it, didn't you?
Sure, I picked it, but I didn't make it. The mud held its roots, the water gave it life, and the sun made it beautiful. Throw your coin into the river or bury it into the mud if you really feel like you have to pay for something.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Dawan wanted to offer something in return, so she decided to share the secret of her mission with this newfound friend.
I'm going to the temple with this lotus bud, you see. I'm going to see the head monk.
Really? It must be pretty important if you want to see the head monk.
Oh, it is. It's the most important thing that could ever happen to me. It's about my schooling.
Your schooling, huh? What is it like? You go to classes? My brother Vichai goes to school too.
Vichai? He's in my class. He sits behind me. You're his sister? I never knew he had a sister.
Well, why should you? He never mentions me to anyone. I'm just me, Old Bao. I sell caged sparrows and lotus buds every morning. Wait a minute. Did you say you sat in front of my brother? You must be Dawan. You're the one who won the school prize.
And was probably going to tell their father about it soon, so that she'll be forbidden to go study and be forced to send aside for him instead.
Well, you're not going to just sit around there and accept it, are you?
What do you think I'm going to see the head monk for, silly?
Are you going to the temple with just that one flower?
Why? Do you think it's too little? I don't have much money.
How much have you got? Do you have enough to feed one of these poor sparrows? It's good to make more merit, and besides, these little birds are just dying to be free.
How much would it be to free just one? I've got 10 pennies.
Those 10 pennies of yours won't be enough to free even half a bird. Tell you what, you can free one of them now, and you can pay me tomorrow.
Dawan shook her head and gathered up her shovel. She told Bao that she wouldn't be getting any more money for a week, and promised to tell Bao how the visit went.
We are 5D, and this is scene 4.
To Dawan, entering the temple compound from the bustle of the marketplace was a small shop, like suddenly stepping out of a slashing thunderstorm into the shelter of a snug.
It was dark and hollow inside. The thinly fragrant smell of incense filtered through the corridor. Two monks sat near the altar, chanting Buddhist scriptures in a deep voice by the hymn.
Dawan slipped quietly to the front with the lotus between her palms. She bowed slightly to the statue of the Buddha and then carefully placed the bud in a big urn already half filled with fresh flowers.
When the head monk had finished reading the scripture, the monks rose swiftly and left through the back door into the old monastery.
The elderly head monk stood up more slowly and was about to follow the other monks when Dawan realized that this was her chance to approach him.
She sprang up quickly and darted after him, but realized that he had not eaten. She apologized and told him that she would wait for him in the courtyard.
Dawan sat down on a stone bench and started whistling softly. As she whistled, Dawan realized that there was no one else around. Dawan's lively whistling now seemed hollow and sad to her. She stopped whistling and sighed.
So cheerful one moment, and so gloomy the next.
It didn't seem right. The courtyard's so deserted.
It may be quiet now, but in just a few months' time, there will be a whole new batch of students studying here again. But you didn't come here just to walk with me, did you? It must be something important. You even brought a lotus for the altar this morning.
The one told the head monk about her one chance to go away to study. Then she talked about her brother, who also wanted to go to the city school.
Ah, you must be that one, the girl who won the scholarship. And your brother, Kwai, unfortunately came in second place. You two must be excellent students.
Dawan turned and explained that Choi told their father he had come in second, as he had threatened to do. She would be ordered to step aside for her brother.
But what do you want me to do?
Well, you could talk to my father, sir. He respects you a lot. He'll listen to what you say, sir.
And what am I supposed to say?
You could tell him it's my right to go because I won first place.
Yes, you're right. But why do you want to go anyway?
Why? Because I want to learn.
Everything you need to know is right here.
The head monk began to talk about learning Buddha's noble truths, to work towards achieving enlightenment.
I don't mean that kind of learning. I mean learning things that will be of use to people.
Is Buddhism of no use to anybody?
The head monk listened and gently explained to Dawan that the Buddha saw the sufferings of the people too, and was disturbed by what he saw.
But then he realized that one had to go beyond suffering, that one had to go beyond it.
How does one go beyond suffering?
You learn to stop wanting things, child. Things we perceive will only pass away after a while. Once you realize that things of this world don't last, then you also realize that they're not really important.
If ordinary things aren't important, what is then?
You know what nirvana is, don't you?
It's where you reach enlightenment like Buddha and don't get reborn again.
When man reaches nirvana, he is freed from the wheel of life. In nirvana, there is no suffering, no pain, no rebirth, only nothing.
No happiness or joy either.
That's the point, child. What's the point of being happy when the thing that makes you happy goes away anyway? Nothing lasts forever, you know.
But nobody was talking about making it last forever, sir. Why is this wrong just to try to make it last a little longer?
A little longer? What for, child? Why live life dreading the end of such fragile happiness?
That's easy for you to say. You live inside a peaceful monastery, have your clothes and food provided for you, and nobody there bully you. You don't have to live the pain that we do in the world outside the temple.
Be careful what you say, child. You are still young and do not fully understand the wisdom of those who have lived longer than you.
People, I don't just have to be wise to know that someone who's suffering doesn't just have to accept it. People need to learn to struggle, to fight against the pain in life.
So many have tried to improve things, child.
But I still want to try.
You'll just be wasting your time and spirit.
Does that mean you won't be helping?
Help you? We talk your father into letting you go to the city school for your scholarship? Why would I help you in something I don't believe in? Besides, you're still young and I don't think you should dream such futile dreams. What can a mere schoolgirl hope to achieve anyway?
A mere school? You're just like the others after all. You won't help me because you think I'm a girl. If my brother came to you for help, you would do it for him, wouldn't you?
He wouldn't need to. If he got in first place in examination, there would have been no problem to begin with.
But that one had already swung around and was now running away. At the gate of the temple courtyard, she turned back to glare at him one last time.
Good morning, teachers and friends. Today, my group from 5 divisions is going to perform Scene 5, Vichai hit Sparrow and Kwai hurts Dawan.
Dejected by her visit to the temple, and makes her way to the place. Bao spots her friend goes to meet her. She leads her friend back to her flower store and asks Dawan to tell her about her visit.
Well, what happened? What do you think happened? The old monk isn't that important anyhow. What are you going to try next? What can I try? Nothing. Nobody could help me or would want to. If you start believing that, then it will come true. We girls always have to stand aside and let the men do all the challenging things. You have earned your chance to pursue your own ideals. Don't yield to your brother now. You have to push forward if you want to be free and equal to your brother. Here, open the door to his cage. Go on, open it and you'll see what I mean.
Dawan looked at Bao, then carefully pulled open the little door to the wooden cage. The sparrow inside watched Dawan's movement with unblinking eyes, but made no move to fly out. Instead, it hopped timidly over to the other side, studied the open door again with a crooked head, and remained still. Bao slid her finger between the bars and prodded the bird gently. It hopped over to the open door, fluttered out of the cage, and looked about. Finally, it seemed to realize that it was free. Then, gracefully, it soared off into the cloudless blue sky.
I see what you mean. For you, the door may not be open for that long. You must fly free away quickly, just like that tiny sparrow. Thank you for showing me.
Just then, she felt Bao's arm stiffen. Bao was no longer listening. She was looking at a figure striding towards them.
Quick, hide! But what for? Who are you afraid of? That's my brother. You can't pay for the buck, can you? He'll be mad. Hurry, run! But what about you? I can handle him, I think. Hurry, go!
Bao's brother staggered up to the stall and swept his eyes over the pile of flowers and cages in quick calculation.
How many birds did you free without collecting money for them, sister?
None.
You little liar! Then why are there 4 empty cages and only 75 pennies in the box?
Alright. I freed one. I won't do it again.
That's what you always say. Then you'll let another one of these stupid things fly off again 2 days later.
I said I won't do it again. And now go away and mind your own business.
This is my business. I caught all of those birds and put them in all of those cages. The whole thing belongs to me. If I ever catch you short of money again, sister.
Those things don't belong to you or to anybody else. And just you wait. Someday when you are not spying on me, I'm going to set all of them free. And you a brave strong one? Hit me. Why don't you hit me again? You money-making bully!
For a moment, Vichai watched the escaping birds. When he hit Bao again. Screaming, she continued to yank open the little cage door as if her life depended on it. Dawan could not bear to watch anymore. She rushed out to help her friend. Then she saw her own brother dash
over to Bao from the opposite direction. Before she could reach them, Kwai had grabbed Vichai's arm to stop him from hitting Bao again.
It's there. I killed it. I crushed it.
It's not your fault. He pushed you down on it.
It won't ever fly back into the sky again. Are you happy now, brother? Do you still want to sell this little bird? You could sell it for discount, you know.
Vichai moved to slap his sister again, but Kwai immediately stopped him. Vichai thought better of it and let his palm fall loosely towards his side. And he wriggled free of Kwai's hold and pushed his way through the crowd.
Haven't I seen you somewhere before? You look familiar. Do I know you?
My name is Kwai.
Kwai? Is this your brother Kwai? Kwai! Why do you help other people's sister when you're so mean to your own?
What are you talking about?
Ask your sister, who's been trying to grab her chance to finish school, who has been working things up so she doesn't get to go.
You little busybody! Who told you this? How dare you!
Then you hit her too. Don't hit her.
You stay out of this!
Dawan felt a hot searing pain ripping through her left leg. Blood streamed out from a cut on her ankle.
Kwai clumsily tried to wipe away some of the blood with a smooth banana leaf, but Dawan jerked her leg away.
You liar! You're just a bully after all. Go ahead, use your strength, not the people who get in your way. Why do you talk and talk to me of helping poor people if all you are is just a big bully? Did you mean to fool me or something in your idols has gone really sour?
This is 5 kindness. We are going to do scene 6 from the book Sing to the Dawn when Kwai thinks on the bridge in the rain. Dawan's ankle hurt each time she steps on it. The rain had grown heavier, yet Dawan dreaded the thought of going home. She imagined the questions her parents would ask upon seeing her cut ankle, but most of all, she dreaded seeing her brother. So, at the fork of the dirt road, she headed for the river instead of the path home. But as she approached its banks, she saw that Kwai was already there.
Oh no, I thought I could be alone for a little while. Should I talk to him? Should I? Achoo! That dumb brother of mine is going to catch a cold sitting out here like this. Hey, you're going to catch a cold sitting on the stall. Does your ankle hurt? Sure, it hurts, but it'll heal soon. Why do you come here? What are you doing here anyway? I'm sitting on top of the bridge thinking. And I'm standing here telling you to come down out of the rain. I'm not coming down, I'm thinking. You can go home and think. I can't. Well, what are you thinking about? I don't know. I guess about what happened in the marketplace and what you said to me. Do you really think I'm a bully? Do you think my ideals have soured? That's something only you can know, Kwai. I said those things because I was angry, but it may not be true.
The two siblings sat in silence as Kwai thought about Dawan's answer. He wondered how he could say that he wanted to study so he could help people later on, when the only way he could get this further schooling was to rob his sister's chance to study.
What should I do? I don't have the right to tell you what you should do, Kwai. You already know what I think. You'll have to think it out for yourself.
I have been trying to think. Achoo! That's why I was out here for only. Achoo!
How can you think when you keep sneezing every 3 seconds? Can't you at least come home and think in a dry place?
No, I think best by the river. Besides, some thoughts are worth catching a cold for.
In a vague way, Jawan could understand how brothers needs to be in the midst of a thunderstorm while he was trying to make such a serious decision.
Here. If you must think out in the rain, at least use an umbrella.
Kwai, lost in his thoughts, did not notice the umbrella in his hand until Dawan had already reached the bottom of the bridge and was starting down the path home. Startled, he glanced up and finally noticed the little orange roof above him.
By now, his sister was already drenched, and only with painful difficulty could she hobble along, trying to keep her wounded ankle out of many puddles on the road.
Wait, I don't want your dumb umbrella. You take it.
You're going to be in the rain longer than me, stupid.
Under the shelter of the orange umbrella, Kwai watched his sister limping down the narrow path. Just a few hours ago, he had hurt Jawan badly, but now she had left her umbrella for him, while she limped clumsily home, wet and cold and tired. Kwai suddenly knew his decision was made.
Holding the umbrella high above his head, he raced off nimbly after his sister, so that he could catch up with her and share the umbrella the rest of their way home.
Five Honesty presents Scene 7.
By the time they had reached the house, the rain had subsided. Dawan noticed their grandmother first, shivering slightly in her sleeveless shirt underneath the house. The old woman lifted up a bony arm and beckoned for the children to join her.
What did you two do to your father? He's in such a fierce mood.
Why? What did he do?
He came home shouting and cursing. Then he stormed upstairs, throwing off his wet clothes and flinging them at your poor mother. It's about your scholarship, isn't it?
Who's jabbering down there? Are those two children here? I want to see them now.
Kwai reacted to the gruff voice as if he'd been whipped. His brown face hot and determined, he scampered up the ladder.
I'm scared, Grandmama.
Now don't you start being scared all the time too, child. Your mother's bad enough. Let's not have two rabbits in this household. Besides, what is there to be afraid of? After all, where do you suppose that big fierce man upstairs came from?
Alright, dear brother. I'll be strong and brave.
You certainly ought to, Dawan, aren't you the child of my child?
During her brief delay coming upstairs, Kwai had managed to calm his father down, and they were now seated facing each other.
But you understood what it meant to have come in second, didn't you? I understood, Father. But you didn't tell me of it. You deliberately kept it from... Why?
Because my sister wants to go study in.
Your sister? I thought you wanted to go to city school so badly yourself. Your sister's only a girl.
She did best in our village.
But now I know you have placed second, even without your telling me. But what if I were to order you to go?
I will not go, sir.
Huh? You still will not go, huh? But what if I will not let your sister to go?
She was the one who won the scholarship. You had no right to fall with her, sir.
I may not have the right, son, but I certainly have the power to do so.
Even if you have this power, Father, you should not misuse it.
I wasn't talking to you, and stay out of this.
Why should I stay out of it? It concerns me too.
If you don't let my sister go, Father, then touch him. What's studying the exam will get to go. You would give up your chance for somebody else just to spite me? Not to spite you, father, but to show you that I do not want my sister to give up her chance for me.
Looking slightly dazed, the farmer turned and directed his next question at Dawan.
Did you force your brother into letting you go?
Can anyone force my brother to anything?
You're only a girl. There's nothing you can do, even with a fancy education.
Father, stop it! If you keep thinking they'll never be capable of doing anything worthwhile, then of course I really won't, because I'll never have a chance to. Don't you see?
The room remained in tense silence, leaving Dawan's words floating in a little island of their own. Although the farmer's eyes were directed on his daughter, his gaze seemed to be on something far away.
There's a wide, wide world out there, Father, and so many things I want to learn and see and do. You can share it in your son's dreams. Why can't you share mine too?
So you want me to open your cage door, Dawan, so you can soar off and do great things for us all?
I can try, Father, I can try.
The fisherman stood up, flexing his knees heavily to uncramp his leg muscles. His two children scrambled up too, never taking their eyes off him. Standing in a tight triangle, they exchanged glances silently.
Then try, my daughter, try.
Presents Scene 8. Dawan talks to her grandmother. 1, 2.
Peering out from the leafy shelter, Dawan watched the crowd gather around her home, waiting for her to leave. He retreated into the shadows, while her mother, tying the last rope around her daughter's neck, caught sight of the moment.
There you are. I was getting worried. Your father has already gone out to look for you. We thought you had suddenly decided not to go. Look at all the people here to see you all.
The villagers were swarming around, fussing over her. Dawan cringed, muttered something about changing her clothes, and wiggled her way through them. She climbed up the ladder to the hut, which she knew would be empty except for her grandmother.
Don't be afraid, Dawan. Calm down. I have left your new clothes and shoes on that matting there.
Dawan smiled gratefully at her grandmother and walked over to the piece of matting where her new things lay waiting. As she bent down to bend her shoes on, she realized that she was still holding Christ's discarded lotus bud in her hand.
Tossing the bud aside, she dressed hurriedly, her nervousness increasing as she heard the sound of the heavy old bus rumbling. Outside, the noise of the crowd grew.
Come here, Dawan. You have a long life ahead of you, and this is just the first step. If you're this timid now, how on earth are you going to face the struggle still before you? Gather yourself together and face the world out there with clear, bold eyes. You hear me?
Dawan nodded, but did not budge. It was the rhythm more than the meaning of the aged voice that calmed her.
Go now, Dawan. You have packed everything you want to bring with you, haven't you?
No, I can't go yet. Please, Grandma, I'm not ready. I haven't packed everything yet. There's the sunrise I want to take, and the bridge, and oh, Grandma, how can I pack Kwan and the chickens, even the bullfrogs in the forest?
Already it seems as these three precious drops of childhood were slipping through her fingers, like sun sparkles when she washed her hands in the river. Sock after sock was wrenched from her teen frame.
The old woman reached out and cut her granddaughter's ears with feeble hands, but Dawan only shook them off.
Let me cry now, Grandma, and I I won't ever cry anymore.
So the grandmother withdrew her hands and waited patiently until Dawan's sobs began to subside.
After a while, the gentle old woman got up and hobbled to the rain barrel. She picked up a small glass jar and scooped some fresh rainwater into it. Walking back to where the lotus bud lay on the netting, she bent over and put it carefully in the jar.
Hold on to this lotus carefully and watch it unfold during a long bus ride to the city. This lotus bud is like you, all shut up tight, small, afraid of the outside. But with good water and strong sunlight, it will unfold petal by petal. And so will you, Dawan.
But I don't want to. I don't want to change.
I'm sure this lotus is happy the way it is. But if it refuses to change, it will never become a lotus in full bloom, will it? And remember, the lotus goes back into a bud when night falls and unfolds again at dawn. Just because you're living now doesn't mean you'll never come back.
But I'm not afraid I won't ever come back, Grandma. Right now, I don't even know if I want to live in the first place.
Don't think of this as a leaving then. Think of this as another of your petals unfolding. Go now, Dawan. Dawan looked at the lotus bud uncertainly. The glass jar was smooth and cool in her hand. Somehow, it seemed to absorb her anxiety. She looked around the familiar walls of her home. Taking a deep breath, she nodded. She was ready now. Setting the jar aside, Dawan pressed her palms together and bent her head over them to her grandmother in a traditional gesture of leave-taking. Then she stood up and, holding the lotus jar, went outside. 1, 2. My name is Sophia, and today my class and I will be performing Scene 9, Dawan Says Goodbye to Pie. Hope you enjoy the show.
Dawan went outside to the veranda. Her mother and some other women were busy loading the baggage onto the already crowded bus.
Dawan eagerly searched the crowd and saw rather familiar face. Very proud. As her father appeared, she cried.
Her father shook his head and told her that Paul was sitting out on the old bridge. He didn't think Sally was sleeping. Paul was already there seeing her off.
Dawan turned away so that her father could not see her face. She felt more earlier before.
Looking around at all the faces around her, Dawan realized that there was not a single one she really cared to say goodbye to.
Rush stopped sharply, and the crowd surged over to Dawan onto the bus.
As soon as she got on, the big bus ground to a start and roared off. The familiar faces of her father, mother, grandmother, and the rest of the villagers soon disappeared into the distance.
Ahead lay the river, and Dawan stuck her head out of the window onto the bus to catch the last beautiful long bridge.
Suddenly, carried by the breeze, they heard a very familiar voice singing a very familiar song. He was there.
I was standing on the old bridge, and cows wailed in the distance, and so held her sister and sent her off.
Dawan burst out laughing, swinging her arms out as well in a gesture to hug him. She joined him in
as she could. Dawan watched her brother lift until it was only a tiny speck of the bridge. And he himself pointed into the distance.
Looking down,